Hola a todo el mundo, me presento. Yo soy el Panda Miranda y bienvenidos a un nuevo canal de videos varios. Y en esta tarde empezaremos este canal. Lo vamos a inaugurar con un video de reacciones. A mí me encantan estos videos de reacciones de la gente reaccionando a cosas, sobre todo los que reaccionan a cosas que los asustan. Y decidí empezar con justamente uno de estos, ya que, bueno, los que me conocen sabrán que no soy una persona precisamente miedosa, pero soy una persona extremadamente asustadiza. Entonces yo pensé que sería buena idea, al menos para el video, que reaccionara a un video de Jumpscares. Entonces busqué este video llamado Los 15 mejores Jumpscares en los videojuegos. Es de un canal llamado Top 15 o Top 15, el cual les pondré el link al video original aquí abajo para que lo puedan ver por ustedes mismos. Deben checar ese canal, es muy bueno, top 15 de muchísimas cosas, se pueden entretener un buen rato ahí. Si es que no lo conocen, deberían checarlo. Así que allá vamos.
Number 15, Thief Through the Keyhole. In the reboot of the Thief series, you once again play the role of Garrett. As you slink around the Moira Asylum, which was originally a treatment facility for the insane and other mentally ill, in search of riches you come across another locked door, which you investigate through the keyhole before entering, when you are met with the sudden appearance of a ghostly-looking woman telling you that you shouldn't be there. There's not much backstory to the spooky spirit, but she's pretty terrifying. Number 14, Resident Evil 4, Lake Monster. Delago, Spanish for from the lake, was a massive plaga-infected amphibian that lived in a lake near a Spanish village. In the popular survival horror, Resident Evil 4, as the player, when walking through the outskirts of the village, you start approaching a lake, in which you briefly see fish swimming in a group. What many people would tell first-time players is that you shoot the fish to obtain certain items. After shooting at the water for a few seconds, Delago shoots out of the water, devours the character, and scares the shit out of you. When this game was ported to PS3 and Xbox 360, the jump scare would award the player with an achievement, ironically titled, Don't Shoot the Water. Number 13, BioShock Infinite, Boys of Silence. The Boys of Silence are young men fitted with sense-enhancing helmets and are forced to act as watchmen. They are referred to as Elizabeth's children. They are in fact young men brainwashed from childhood and forced into total subservience. Thanks to Elizabeth's intervention, they also have limited control over tears, allowing them to partially control the lunatics of Comstock House and teleport out of existence after raising the alarm or being attacked. Booker DeWitt encounters them in Colombia during the course of BioShock Infinite. Once he reaches an alternative Comstock House, the Boys of Silence do not actually engage in combat. Their primary purpose is to keep watch over the facility, and the similarly brainwashed men in George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and Thomas Jefferson masks, known as the lunatics. Rather than fighting Booker directly, Boys of Silence summon the men to fight for them. If Booker enters a Boy of Silence's line of sight, it will stand still and focus on him. If he stays for too long, gets close to the boy, or attacks it, the Boy of Silence will let out a piercing scream and will teleport away. The most famous jump scare from the Boys of Silence occurs in the warden's office just after unlocking the gate to reach Elizabeth in the torture chamber. Once the switch to deactivate the lock is pulled, the player turns around and finds himself face to face with the Boy of Silence, who immediately sounds the alarm and causes the player to be completely caught off guard. Number 12, Batman Arkham City, Scarecrow's Victims. Arkham City is entirely filled with criminals, which are either inmates or political prisoners, and is also filled with Batman's most popular enemies such as Penguin, the Joker, and more. Needless to say, it's a very dangerous place to be. The best jump scare of the game was given by a character that was absent for the entirety of it. The scare happens when the player finds a lone cargo ship, which holds crates of roaches and other fear-implementing ingredients. It becomes clear that the ship belongs to Scarecrow, another of Batman's well-known enemies. After entering the ship, the game suddenly enters into first-person view. The interior of is dimly lit by flickering lights, and towards the end of the ship you see an enemy thug sitting down with his head hanging. As a natural instinct, you approach the thug to try to understand what has happened to him. While the camera zooms in closer, he awakens quickly, gasps in horror, screams in agony, and convulses
No,
at the
ese no.
same time.
No
All of
subo
this
tanto.
happens within
Tan
a few
fuerte.
short seconds. Then he returns to his original state, leaving only the racing heart of the player. Number 11, Dead Space. Necromorphs playing dead. During the survival horror, you play the part of an engineer named Isaac Clarke. The game is set on a mining ship in space after Earth goes into near extinction. After a distress signal is sent out, you board the ship to find most of the crew has turned into necromorphs, which are an alien parasite that can reanimate a dead body and mutate it in horrific ways. One of the features of the necromorphs is playing dead. While playing dead, they basically lay perfectly still on the ground. As you pass by, they suddenly pop back to life and scare the shit out of you. For unprepared players, this may seem like a quick death, but more than likely you'll be left on low health limping away until you find another one to finish the job, or at least give you another near
No era
heart
broma,
attack.
no era broma cuando les
Number
dije que
10,
era...
Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies,
Tan asustadizo.
Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead, also known as Alcatraz Island and Sunset Strip, is the 15th Zombies map. It's included in the second Call of Duty Black Ops 2 downloadable contact pack, Uprising. The Easter egg known as Jumpscare occurs on the roof where the plane is assembled. The player is required to have a sniper rifle, such as the Baird M82A1 or the DSR-50, and they must proceed to the far end of the roof to the left of the runway. If the player scopes in
Muy
on the firework
específico eso.
display in the distance, a distorted picture of what appears to be Russman's face will flash up on the screen for a split second, accompanied by a high-pitched scream. Jump scares would later become a common feature in the Zombies map, later appearing in the map Origins, but this one left an impression on players who just wanted to watch some fireworks. Number
Aprovechate del
9,
incauto.
Internal Darkness, Bathroom Bloodbath Scene. Sanity effects are special features in the game set in
Porque no
place,
ayuda el
with the
sonido que
sole
ponen
purpose
cuando
of messing
sale
with the
cualquier
player's
cosa.
sanity,
Que-
making the game even more frightening. While playing as the character Alex, when you reach the second floor of the Roy Vance mansion and look into the bathtub, the camera makes a swift zoom inward as you come face to face with Alex's body in a tub full of blood, followed by a scream. Triggering this event does not alter your sanity meter, but acts as a sanity effect regardless. In a game riddled with eerie events designed to make your character go insane, this one stuck with players and made their palms sweat even more while traversing the dark corridors of the mansion. Number 8, Condemned Criminal Origins, Body and Locker. While playing the part of an agent that
cuerpo
works
en
for a
el
forensics
casillero.
team, you venture off to investigate an abandoned school in search of serial killers. When you come across a closed locker,
Si hay una
after
escuela
opening the
abandonada, no
locker,
la
you discover a
investigues.
body inside.
No es
As
buena
anyone
idea.
would, you whip out your phone and take a photo of the body. Your colleague, Rosa Angel, tells you that you need to take a photo closer to the body's face to confirm its identity. Once you zoom in on the body, he awakens and grabs your arm, which creates an unexpected shock to the player and character. On the bright side, he has great information for you to aid in solving the case. However, nothing can remove the chills that you receive from the scare. Number 7, Outlast, Hanging Body. Due to a tip from a whistleblower, reporter Miles Upshur enters into a psychiatric hospital owned by a corporation to see what
Si tienen
corruptions are
una
occurring.
PC para
Once he
juegos,
enters, he
una
is horrified to see
computadora,
mutilated
jueguen
corpses of
este,
the
jueguen
staff.
Outlast,
However,
es un
the
viaje,
most frightening
es un
scare
viaje,
occurs when he
sote.
enters a
Es
darkened room
maravilloso.
and has to rely on his
Muy
night
oscuro,
vision
claro,
camera.
pero es muy bueno.
The first thing he sees when he peers through the camera is a hanging body and the remains of a SWAT team that was sent in to investigate the asylums themselves. A SWAT officer that was impaled tells you that you need to escape the horrors of the asylum. It proves to be easier said than done though. While this game is filled with many jump scares, this is the first one and it sets the mood for the terrifying story. Number 6, Five Nights at Freddy's, Golden Freddy. In the first game, Five Nights at Freddy's, Golden Freddy is one of the 5 antagonists and a special animatronic. Golden Freddy appears as a golden yellow character variation of Freddy Fazbear with missing eyes, who appears in the office after a certain sequence of events are triggered. A few wires/parts of the endoskeleton are visible, which share the same correlation as his accessories. His jaw hangs open, and his head is tilted to the right. He is also presented in a sitting slouch version as if he was dead. While checking Cam 2B, the player will see a poster on the wall. It can switch between 3 different versions. A normal picture of Freddy, a distorted picture in which he appears to rip off his own head, or a close-up of Golden Freddy's face. While this picture of him is being viewed, a young girl's laugh can be heard. If the player sees the Golden Freddy poster and switches back to the office, Golden Freddy will be waiting for them. His appearance causes different images to flash on the screen for split seconds, along with the words, "It's me." Golden Freddy will wait idly for a few seconds before killing the player, forcibly closing the game. Unlike all of the other animatronics in the game, Golden Freddy does not give any indication of approach or arrival within the office. He completely disregards the doors, appearing whether they are open or closed. Unlike the other animatronics, the screen will be covered by a static image of Golden Freddy's face upon attack, akin to the images that flash during Michael Smith's hallucinations. The moment the player sees him, the player must bring up the monitor before Golden Freddy kills the players. Doing so will cause him to disappear, thus preventing death in a game crash.